Nestled in a gorgeous remote mountain town, the pace is often slow in the off-season and the landscape absolutely stunning. In the Mount Washington Valley of New Hampshire, where thousands upon thousands of people travel every year during the winter to ski, in the summer for the landscape and the rivers and the beautiful scenery and hiking, there's something that still many of us who live there miss very much, and that's the cultural richness of a college town or a city. And in an age where everything moves so quickly, where social media dominates, and sometimes real art, real music, real literature is overlooked for the quick 30-second or 15-second TikTok or Instagram hit, live performances often get lost, and that's where the Cold River Radio Show comes in. And that's a program that's been running in the Mount Washington Valley for 13 years. But this isn't just a local segment about something that happens here. This is about the broader picture of the richness of culture in an area that people are overlooking very often. And so today I have with us a guest, Jonathan Sarty, who started the Cold River Radio. And well, of course, it's much higher on my radar because at the season's opening, the 18th of May in 2025, I'll be premiering a segment that Jonathan and I came up with called Within the Zone. We all know about in the zone. It's probably an overused and almost cliche saying, but we wanted to talk about that sense that you get when you are truly within the zone. Sometimes we're at a concert and we're watching a musician up there, and one of my good friends, Gabriel Butterfield, said, "Look at that guy playing the drums right now. If you walked up and absolutely hauled off and slapped him across the face, he wouldn't break the beat. He's so completely dialed within the zone." And that's what this first segment that we're premiering on the 18th of May is about. And I'm going to read a passage from the book that I'm writing. And the book is tentatively titled Face to Face with Mallory, The Search for Meaning and Redemption on Mount Everest. And this is a chapter called Ashes. At least it's the working title, called Ashes. And I'm going to talk about bringing some of the ashes of my brother, of my mother, and my father to the summit of Mount Everest and dispersing them from the summit at the absolute apex of the Buddha full moon of May in 2016. It's a deep story that's very uplifting in the end, but truly for me, it's about as close as you could come to opening up my chest cavity for me to bare my soul to all who are listening and watching. And that's just one segment within the Cold River Radio Show. Jonathan rarely, if ever, uses metaphors or relates it to other similar shows, but some could say that it's kind of like Prairie Home Companion. It is different, but it's a variety of different people coming together, putting on a program that you cannot find elsewhere. If you can't attend in person, Jonathan is selling online tickets so you can watch it virtually on May 18th or after the show has premiered itself. So let me take you to that interview with Jonathan Sarty, a great interview where you don't want to miss this. His lovely dog, Trooper, interrupted right near the end of the interview, and let's just say he needed dire attention and had to be let outside. I don't know what it is about the conversation that made the dog want to throw up, but my hope is this conversation will have the opposite effect on you. So let's cut to that interview with Jonathan Sarty of the Cold River Radio Show on my conversation on Zoom. My friend, Jonathan Sarty. It's so good to see you. I just saw you in person at breakfast the other day. Now here we are virtually. We can't get enough of each other.
That's true. That's true.
So we are in this collaboration of sorts, and you've welcomed me into this amazing thing that you've created called the Cold River Radio Show that has been going on. I believe this is your 13th year, an amazing venue, if you will, of music and literature and arts. And I'm honored to be a part of it. If you could explain to the listeners and the viewers what it is that we're going to be doing. On May 18th, we're going to have our first iteration of what's called Within the Zone. So hit me with that.
Yeah, so you and I have talked and we've kind of cooked up this concept together, which I think the show in itself is hungry for. It'll be a really nice addition, a nice new segment to the show. The show's mission being to promote the arts and culture of New England, and of course we step outside of that, break our own rules quite often. But both of us being New England residents, this is an appropriate thing to do. And so we talked it up and we decided transformational stories could be part of the description of what we're talking about, bringing in adventurers and people, not just adventurers, but people who have had life-changing experiences and they want to tell their story and share their story. And so within the zone, we'll be focused on that beginning May 18th with you and part of your personal story, which we're really
Yeah.
excited to have you as well honored. Thanks, Tom. Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm excited, really excited. Well, you said the operative word, that adventure, exploration, and it's not just in the Everest realm, which is what people maybe outside think, oh, he's the Mount Everest guy or whatever, but it's more about that idea of adventure and exploration in the, for lack of a better word, the spiritual realm. And what I say and what I put on my YouTube page, Everest Mystery, is that Everest is literally just a portal. And because people are like, oh, who cares if you climb Mount Everest? I don't. It's not, it has nothing to do with it. It just happens to be a portal where people are attracted to it and you begin the discussion, and from there, anything is possible. So that idea of within the zone, that idea of exploring the transformational experiences that we all have in life, whether climbing Mount Everest or witnessing tragedy on Mount Everest or going after a dream, or it doesn't matter. So I think that the idea of starting, which I will, something Mount Everest related, is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of finding out how do people transform. And there's millions and millions of inspirational stories. So I think that's kind of what we're bringing to it. And it's really exciting. And I hand it to you because you've been providing this platform for people for years now. And I've been listening. And John, weren't we kind of pinging each other for a few years? Hey, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. And we never really connected on it. And boom, last June 8th, we did a presentation at the Wildcat Tavern. Stu Dunlop had us there on the 100th anniversary of Mallory and Irvin disappearing on Mount Everest. And you and I collaborated, talking about winging it. You just had your guitar and you played the vibe and the mood. And I was like, whoa, man, we've got something here. So, yeah, I don't know. I just took that off on a tangent.
I agree. Everyone who attended that event, I think, was moved by the stories and the experience, and it was easy to fall in on the guitar and do some moody background with you because, I was in the zone with you there. So it's not, I mean, the irony of it being you're in the death zone at the top of the of Everest has plays into the idea of what we're doing here as well. But I agree that it's also, getting in the zone where musicians, when they do their best, comedians, when they're doing their best, even storytellers, they're in the zone. They're in this space where they're untouched by the distractions of what's going on around them, and they're in this place, the zone. And that's what, many people refer to it as. So, in our own way, we're contributing to that. We're getting in the zone here. And I think I imagine we'll have people who have overcome serious physical injury. That in itself could be an adventure story of sorts. I've got a friend who is a extreme freestyle BMX rider, and he's made a life of having a stunt team and traveled the world. That would be I can't wait to bring him in to the zone, and talk to him with you. Um,
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that too, and I had heard about this guy, so that will be a future iteration of it. Let's bring it to the more immediate. So on May 18th, we have a show that for people who can't attend in person, there will be an Eventbrite link that people can purchase reduced cost tickets and watch it live online, which is really exciting. What have you got happening on this May 18th event that I'm going to be participating in?
Yeah, so the formula of the show, every show, we have a headlining act, and then supporting artists and segments. So we've got Dr. Peter Crane's Mount Washington Moment. He's a historian, and he a curator of the library, and he from the archives pulls relative moments in Mount Washington's rich history, and we do some sound production behind him, and it's just great. So we have we have John Gorka. As you know, John is a legend folk singer-songwriter, great guy, and I've been trying to, like you, have been trying to get in cahoots with him for a long time, and we're finally lining that up, and he'll be there collaborating with our wonderful house band, Cold River Radio Band. These guys are probably one of the best pickup bands in the Northeast, and all superlative professional players, with great discographies of their own. So that's a great group. I get to sing with the band too. Then we've got our local spotlight, Gary Plord, who just won the local songwriting contest with our independent FM radio station. He'll be collaborating with the house band. Let's see, what else have we got? Well, we've got a new segment with adventurist Thom Pollard called Within the Zone, and I'm really excited about that. So, this whole show is going to be just a really rich cultural arts experience, I think, and it's just going to be a compliment to our catalog of great shows. We've done quite a few over the years, and this will be great. And it's a nice high quality video production. We've got a multicam edit going. Our live stream is very good. We're always working on getting that sound quality where we want it, but I think we've got it at a level that's enjoyable. So
Awesome. Yeah. So the cool thing is that I'll finally be diving into this. I'm really excited. If there's anybody listening or watching right now that wants to visit and in person and see the show, there will be a link. And I believe the same link for people. I have people who listen to me in Australia, in Finland, and Sweden, all over the world, in South America. So that same link could take you to a virtual ticket purchasing option where you could watch the show, and it would be really cool for people to do that. That link would be in the description of wherever you're seeing or hearing this now. My one main regret is I probably won't have my cat Simba with me, who makes cameo appearances on the majority.
jealous. I was trying to find my cat so I could get him in on the action here too.
Yeah, Simba, whenever I turn on the camera in here, typically he hops up on the chair. That used to be my office chair, and now it's all his. I haven't sat in it in probably 6 months. And your dog. So unfortunate. What's your puppy's name?
Trooper. This is Trooper, the Swiss Mountain Dog.
Oh, well, we can see that our priorities are in the right place. Our favorite pets, our number one people in the world are our pets, I think. So, but Jonathan Sarty, I'm really excited and looking forward to it. I'm honored and have always been impressed with your not only your talent, but your drive to keep creating and bringing that creativity and desire to leave a lasting legacy out there to the world, because that's what you're doing.
Well, thanks, Tom. I'm really looking forward to it too, and I have no misgivings about where my station in all of this. I think being here in New England has been a gift, and being able to try to somehow encapsulate that experience and that life, and that gift into a creative production and try to share it with people. That's the vision. What are you going to have? Uh-oh. I'm not having a good effect on the dog.
Is he going to throw up?
Here, come on.
That is a first. At least it wasn't you throwing up. So, well,
You know, this is now I know. That was my review. It's like I can't.
your
take it
dog's
now.
like,
I've had
stop.
enough.
Crap. Oh, okay. Well, let's leave it at that. I won't cut to video or photos of the dog's gift to our presentation. Hopefully, the listeners and viewers have enjoyed it more than
Let's get
Rupert.
down to brass tacks here.
Jonathan Sarty, thank you so much. I'm really, really excited. And truth be told, I'm actually really nervous about this. This is going to be probably the most personal I've ever gotten during a live presentation. Yes, I have been brought to tears many times before in the hundreds and hundreds of public presentations that I've done, but this one goes right to the heart of it. That touches deeply to three of the people that I love and loved more than any other human being on the planet, and I miss them very dearly. And so hopefully this chapter, the segment of this chapter that I read, is a fine tribute to that deep and endearing love and respect that I have for my mother, my father, and my brother. So for those of you who might be interested in attending, or at least watching virtually, there's going to be a link in the description of this video or podcast where you can click. It's an Eventbrite link. You can buy tickets for attending in person or for the virtual presentation that you can watch it live and even after the fact. So I really hope that you'll take an opportunity to do that and support the fine work of Jonathan Sarty and the many incredible artists that participate in this amazing opportunity to delve into the cultural richness of this area of New Hampshire. So thanks for being here. I truly appreciate it. Do a good deed. Don't ask for anything in return. Make the world a better place, one tiny step at a time. Peace be with you.